Hi Libra, welcome to your tarot reading for the week of June 4th through 10th. And I think I'm going to do what I just did in the last couple of readings because of my shuffling issues. I'm going to just pick the bottom cards of each deck, and I'll even, well, that's not going to do much, is it? Let's see what, ta-da! Well, looky here. We have, as the heart of the matter, your card. You're the Justice card. Now, just to let you know, in this deck, they have the Justice card as number 8, which is kind of interesting. I think I put too many cards back, so I just brought some of them back. Let's see what this, the Hermit, another major arcana card. Okay, any of you involved with or recently involved with a Virgo person? Son of Pentacles, which is Knight of Pentacles. I need 3 more piles, so we're going to go like that. Oops. Okay. More swords. Even the Justice card has a sword. Your swords. Okay. I've used these cards before, but they're still hard to pick up. I've been getting this card in the same position for several readings, which is pretty wild. Another swords. Okay. I hope they're not going to cut down a tree because there's somebody across the street. I want to get this in because you're the last sign I'm doing. And today happens to be the 4th of June. So obviously this is very timely. Swords can indicate conflict. And they can also indicate a lot of thoughts being generated. So you could be thinking too much. And, you know, kind of going over things a lot. The heart of the matter is the 8 of Swords. This is a card. I said the 8 of Swords. I mean the Justice card. I saw the number 8 and I saw the Swords and I forget about the Justice. Well, your card is the Justice card, and it's self-explanatory that, you know, justice in some area of your life. And the Justice card obviously is about fairness, balance. This could be actual legal activity, issue, judgment. I'm trying to see if there's any evidence. I think that it would be in the early stages. I don't think it would be a judgment because, well, I'll tell you why I think that. Now, do I think this is a romantic situation? There's some cards that would suggest that this is a romantic situation. However, you can feel rejected, which is what the 3 of Swords represents, by your boss. You know, a perfect example is if you're passed over for a promotion and you feel like you deserved it, and that's what the Justice card would be. It's like, this is unfair. It's not right. I did the work. I put in, you know, I paid my dues. It's interesting that in this deck, the Justice is number 8 because the number 8 relates to power. And it's like one of those paradoxes where sometimes people seek out legal retribution because they're trying to regain their power in some way when they feel that somebody has stepped all over it. I have kind of a different view on that, but that's obviously just my opinion. I think that I just have an opinion that, like, if I were in a workplace and I got passed over for a promotion, and even if I thought I deserved it, and the other person just came in through the door a few weeks ago and they got a promotion. It's like, I don't want to work in a place where somebody devalues me. It's like, I don't even want to be around those people. And maybe, you know, when you seek out legal retribution, you're doing it just for financial gain. I don't know, and you're trying to make up for the loss of money or what have you. But it's, to me, it keeps you tied into a toxic dynamic. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird things. I know that some people win big lawsuits, and you know, maybe there's good times when that occurs. It's just like, I don't like the whole process either. But it could be also talking about another Libra, perhaps, or a person that has prominent Libra that you're dealing with. The challenge is a Hermit card. In the challenge position, the Hermit card relates to not listening to wisdom. You know, kind of shoving aside any kind of looking at the situation from a spiritual point of view. And sometimes with Librans, this is because the intellect is valued over the intuition, and or even whatever you want to call it, the spiritual path, where the person thinks that it's silly, it's superstitious to be involved in that, the Libra. I'm not saying all Librans are like this, but this is commonly, I think, what the pitfall is regarding this card with Libra specifically. This could be a Virgo person in your life that is not helping your life. And so therefore they could be what is involved in all of this. Maybe this is the person you're getting away from. Who knows? But someone who is not adding to your life. We look at the foundation card. This is the Knight of Pentacles, which connects to Taurus. I connected to Capricorn, but those are both earth signs. And of course, Virgo is another earth sign. So it could be like kind of talking about, maybe this is a co-worker of yours that is, this is a person who is like kind of a, I call it a drone, a worker drone, but then I heard that that's not, that the drones are lazy. So whatever the word means, that the person who comes to work and is just like, they live, eat, sleep, work. And they don't really, this kind of person doesn't necessarily have a lot of imagination. They're not necessarily all that interesting, perhaps, but they are very dependable, and they are an asset to a company because of their ability to just focus on that area of life to the exclusion of all else. So this may have been your competition, or this may be the person that you are getting away from because maybe they were too materialistic, maybe they were too boring for you. You thought that you had something in common, and you found out you didn't. Maybe your lover is your co-worker. Maybe they're one and the same. Who knows? And that affected your work life as well. The spiritual message is the Ten of Swords. This is a card of betrayal. And I don't know if you can see is that an ox getting speared? So, as a spiritual message, I think one thing that it's saying is don't sugarcoat what you've been through, and kind of allow yourself to accept what has happened. Because with Libra being an air sign, you can make all of your emotional difficulties seem abstract and not really feel them, kind of like think about them but not really feel them, and let them sink in. And I think of those swords as sinking into the ox and really like penetrating, the pain penetrating. And maybe you've kind of kept everything at bay and you haven't really sat with what has happened. And I'm not even saying that it's denial. You may be like totally aware that you were stabbed in the back, metaphorically. I don't even like to say that term. But you may be totally aware that you're betrayed, but you can't feel it, and therefore you can't process it. You know, those kinds of terms, they sound like psychobabble, I know, or new agey psychobabble. But there's really kind of like a truth behind it, because I have just found in my own life that sometimes things really bother me until I really process it. Processing it is not some kind of big federal case that you make out of something. What you're just doing is you're taking a situation that was upsetting, something that has occurred, and you look at it from a higher perspective in terms of the people involved. Why did they do it? Were they really trying to hurt you specifically? Was it personal? Or were they trying to make themselves feel better? Even if they ended up hurting you in the process. And it's not about excusing bad behavior. Because while you're observing this or thinking about this, you may decide, you know, I can't have this person in my life, or I can't work at this place because I don't trust these people. I think that they're all snakes. You may decide that, but you're not carrying this negativity with you in terms of how you perceive your interaction with them, so that you feel like a total victim. It doesn't mean that you don't see how you were victimized, but you don't identify as the victim. That's the key to emerging from a negative situation in a positive way. The practical advice, the tangible advice, is the Three of Swords. It can be a situation of, I think that if you're involved with somebody that you're just, it may not be that they cheated or anything like that. Maybe you just realize you're not compatible. The Three of Swords is saying, just cut it out like a tumor. Just cut it cleanly off. Don't try to break up in small pieces because you drag it on too long. It can also be talking about that in terms of work, in terms of like just walking away and cutting ties from these people. Now, obviously, this is going to depend on other factors, but I'm just saying that that's how I see the card for this particular reading, what it means. What's coming in is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is a very industrious card. This can be financial affluence through applied effort. So you may be involved in a training program to hone your skills. So maybe if you end up walking away from a job, you're going into some kind of a program where you can qualify for a certain position that, or maybe positions that kind of expand your opportunities in the workforce. It can also be that you are just diligently applying yourself in your current job, and you're, you know, even if you're at a workplace that you feel that you were not treated properly, you're just doing a good job as always. You're not going to use this as an opportunity to slack off. And for your personal life, you may simply decide to throw yourself into your work at this time. Who knows? It could involve another earth sign. It's funny. I think that for Libras who are interested in earth signs, Capricorn would probably be the one that most appeals to you on some level. The outcome is the Daughter of Swords, which corresponds to the Page of Swords. This is a card of a possible message that you receive that kind of is reflective of what is going on in your life. It can be that you are on high alert, or that you're actually gathering information for a legal case. Maybe the message that you receive is communications with a lawyer, and they are telling you to gather evidence, to document what is going on in the workplace. It's definitely involving some kind of communication, writing, or a phone call. You are vigilant. You are keeping an eye out for funny business. If you're still working at a certain place, it's the card of being a spy. So, it suggests to me that some of you are still in the workplace, kind of taking notes about all of the injustices that you're dealing with, so you can have the strongest case possible. Okay, well, that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, my link is below. Take care. Bye.